Joined now by Sally Ann Marks, who's chairman of Maidstone Conservative. Sally Ann Marks, thank you very much for joining us. I spoke to you as you were heading home from the Conservative Party conference just a short time ago. You felt that Liz Truss had done well that day. What's your view of her now?
Well, I thought she did, actually, and she did a lot better, I have to say, than I had expected. It was... I've always said you should follow the leader and be loyal, particularly to your party and your Prime Minister. It didn't work out very well, did it? I think the mini budget was obviously a huge mistake, certainly destabilised the markets. And when she lost both Chancellor of the Exchequer and then the Home Secretary, well, frankly, the writing was really on the wall. So, no, it didn't work out very well. We are very lucky, aren't we, that we have other very good contenders. That's how I feel, anyway.
Well, who would your preferred MP be to lead the party? I mean, I believe last time around, Rishi Sunak was your choice.
For me, the most important thing is to find the unity candidate. We simply have to get all of the MPs, those who were named, those who were not named, about not supporting Liz Truss in the last few weeks. They have got to get behind whoever is chosen. So that is key to me. I think we've got one last chance, really, to get it right. And we'll only get it right if all the MPs really do pull together. I hope that they'll understand that. I did hear earlier one of the MPs saying that, you know, maybe some of them might withdraw themselves from the whip if the person they didn't want was elected. And that's not democratic. That goes against the grain for everything that I believe in and we as a country should believe in.
Well, it also makes a bit of a mockery of belonging to a political party, I suppose, as well, doesn't it? I mean, how do you defend on the doorstep, if you're talking to people in your part of the country, in Kent, about the party indiscipline that we saw in the House on Wednesday night?
Well, it's very difficult to defend it. However, on the doorstep, out in the shires, and I'm in the middle of beautiful Kent at the moment, you know, life carries on. And I'm very focused on getting our excellent councillors re-elected at local council, you know, having good services delivered to our communities. That's what's important on the doorstep. Of course, people are mentioning Westminster at the moment, excuse me. And of course, you know, it makes a difference to the way a lot of people think. But actually, the reception isn't as bad as people might think. And, you know, we've been winning by-elections around the country. We haven't had one recently.
Well, except the Conservatives did lose two rather spectacularly in the summer. Let me just ask you about...
I'm talking about since, and I'm talking about local council elections, and they are very important to us.
Yes, of course. Let me ask you about Boris Johnson. I mean, he's on holiday at the moment. Parliament's sitting. He's still an MP. He hasn't shown up. And yet people are talking about him potentially being a candidate in this next leadership contest. How welcome, how wise would that be for the party, given that he was only booted out a short while ago?
Well, I understand that he's back in the country, so I don't know, perhaps you know more than I do, but I understand
he's been on holiday and Parliament's sitting.
He may have been on holiday, but he is back now. So I'm quite sure he's in discussions with all sorts of MPs, trying to see whether it would be right for him to put his hat in the ring. Well, I know that's happening. Of course it is. I mean, I don't know personally, but that's what we hear, isn't it? In many ways, it's quite difficult. I hear from a lot of people that the only saviour we might have is Boris. I'm not sure that that's right, that he's the only saviour for us. But amongst the people of my children's generation, so they are in their late 30s, 40s, they all want Boris, those who are of a mind to support the Conservative Party. And we have to listen to the younger people. I know that Boris comes with a big question mark, but it will so depend on how he presents himself if he does throw his hat in the ring. I want to see a degree of contrition, of self-awareness, of a determination to do better. And I want to see the spark, the good spark of the old Boris back. But I don't know whether he'll put himself forward, and I don't know whether he'll be in the final two that are offered to the membership, if indeed we get the choice.
How important is it, just finally and briefly, do you believe, for party members outside Parliament to get a say?
Well, I'm a bit conflicted here. I don't think we did terribly well last time. The most important thing is to get somebody in post quickly. We want the right person, of course we do, but we do need to get them in quickly. I understand that we are going to be offered two, if two remain. And that's probably a good thing, because I think the voluntary party, in many ways, would rebel, I suspect, if that was not offered. But if only one comes forward, then I'd like to think that we, the voluntary party, and as important, in fact, more importantly, the parliamentary party, get behind whoever that is, whether it's Rishi, whether it might be Penny Mordaunt, I hear that she's a possibility, or Boris, or indeed anybody comes forward. So I'm looking forward to the next 36, 48 hours plus to find out what's going to happen.
Sally Ann Marks, Chairman of Maidstone Conservatives, very kind of you to talk to us here on the BBC News Channel. Thank you.